Welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a great Monday. We're going to try our best to make it even better for you. Tonight, we're breaking down all things hot topics. Of course, we're recapping last night's Super Bowl game in New Orleans, as well as the show-stopping halftime performance by Kendrick Lamar and a few other guest surprises. Now, some people said they didn't get it, but we're going to break down the symbolism to help y'all out. Then later in the show, author Andrew Culkin joins us to discuss his book, Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism, which is based on his late wife's battle with the disease. All that and much more. I want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Blue Sky, and of course our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Please subscribe, comment, and like. As you all know, Linnea and Chike are out still working on other things, but we are blessed to have back Shaq of Let's Be Clear podcast. And of course, our very own Brittany. Now, Brittany, she is dedicated to the cause. She's in her car. She has some stuff to take care of, but she said she wanted to do the show, so she's in the car. So shout out to Brittany. Now, this is Black History Month. Tonight, we're spotlighting Muddy Waters. He was born in 1913 and passed in 1983. An American blues singer, songwriter, and musician who is often labeled the father of modern Chicago blues. Waters grew up in a plantation in Mississippi, and by the age of 17, he was playing the guitar and harmonica. In 1941, he moved to Chicago to become a full-time musician, working in a factory by day and performing at night. 1958, he toured in England, reviving his interest in blues and introducing the sound of the electric slide guitar playing there. His performance at the Newport Jazz Festival in 1960 was recorded and released as his first album. In 1960, that's when the album was released, 1972, he won his first Grammy Award for They Call Me Muddy Waters, and another in 1975 for the Muddy Waters Woodstock album. So shout out to Muddy Waters, and thank you for the history that you brought onto our community. We definitely appreciate you. All right, so how y'all feeling? We got a lot to discuss tonight. Y'all feeling good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready.
All right, our question of the day is, who is the worst character in your favorite TV show?
You might want to go first. Yeah, that's hard for me. I've been thinking about that for a minute. Because I watch a lot of reality shows when it comes to and different reality shows, not just drama, but like I like Food Work and all that too. So it's kind of hard like to think about the worst.
I know. That was a hard one for me. I don't know. Brittany, did you think of one?
I guess I needed more context. Like, are we saying like the worst acting, or like do they make you so mad you don't like them no more?
Yeah, it's kind of like the guy in the How to Get Married franchise, the one that they can't stand him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. They made sure to go up the mountain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is I don't know about y'all, but I can never just have one favorite anything. Like when you ask me what's my favorite, I have like 3 favorite colors. I need to know like what genre of music. Like I can never pick one thing. Like so for me, like I love Power, but when I like Power, I didn't like Tariq. But you know, like, and then like for me, I loved How to Get Away with Murder. And then I forgot, it was one of the people on there that would just piss me off. I like From. I like what else am I watching right now? I was trying to think of something else that I watch where I'd be like really committed to it. Mayor of Kingstown is really good. And the girl is one of the girls in there. She was like she's redhead and she keeps going back with this drug dealer. She makes me mad. So I can never pick one favorite anything. That'd be my problem.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with, it's probably my favorite TV show. It's a movie. We can go from A Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I used to watch the movie all the time when I was about to move to Atlanta because it was shot here. And I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna live there. Because I didn't know much about Atlanta. Could not stand her husband, the one that ended up getting paralyzed, when she beat him up and all that kind of stuff. Couldn't stand her husband in that movie. He was horrible to her. Shaq, you think anybody?
Worst like villain character. A series. Well, no, not really. No. I really can't think because I don't watch a lot of TV. But if I want
Yeah.
to say, just a villain in a movie that I really can't stand would have to be, um, dang, it's an older movie. I can't even think of the name. If it's not Two Can Play That Game. Um, what was the one with Gabrielle Union?
The cheer one?
No, not Bring It On. With her sisters.
Deliver Us from Eva.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did not like how I did not like how they kind of was like the villain of of that movie to me would have to be, unfortunately, the guys ganging up on Eva. I ain't like that. I was like, y'all leave alone, give her a little grace. Because I was a Gabrielle Union, like I loved her. So
Yeah.
she could do wrong in my eyes, honestly. But yeah. If I would think about some that
Like
pissing
that.
me off, they just always piss me off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
That's just me.
let us know on X who is the worst character in your favorite TV show. We can even say movie. Stephen I.
Yeah,
Show.
moving. Yeah.
All right, so last night was Super Bowl 59. And of course, the Eagles dominated the Chiefs to win 40-22. Now, they're saying that what really caused them to dominate was their defense. Their defense, they really shut down the Chiefs' offense throughout the game. Now, things began with the performance of the national anthem by John Batiste. America the Beautiful was by Trombone Shorty and singer Lauren Daigle. And Lift Every Voice was sung by Grammy Award singer Ledisi. The 26-year-old Jalen Hurts was the first-time Super Bowl champion and MVP. The Eagles quarterback was named Most Valuable Player in 2025 championship game after scoring 3 total touchdowns. So I know we're going to talk about the halftime show, but did you watch the game and what were your thoughts? Were you surprised it was such a blowout? I'll start with you, Shaq.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Going into it, I really, mm, I guess I was rooting for the Eagles just because of the Chiefs, and it's because Donald Trump was like the Chiefs, so I was just like, nah, I'll go with the latter.
Right.
But I also felt like these games sometimes are rigged. And so I kind of went in thinking like, oh, okay, they probably gonna win just because it's rigged. But I was like, by the end of the second quarter, I was like kind of surprised. And
Yeah.
normally how I watch games is pretty much I kind of tune in and out the first 2 quarters, and then I kind of honed in toward the end of the third and the fourth. So after the halftime, I just knew they were gonna try to catch up. But then once they start, like once they scored like 40 points, I was just like, and I looked, I was like, there's no way they catching back up.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I watched the game, a lot of interceptions, a lot of fumbles. So
Yeah.
I agree as far as like the defense. It was I think it was like maybe 1 or 2 plays that were like when he did, I can't think how many yards that was when he scored that touchdown.
Yeah.
That was, I think everybody, because I was at a little Super Bowl party, everybody was like going up for it because it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So it was a nice game play wise, but it was a kind of blow. It was a surprising blowout.
It was. It was. I went to a Super Bowl party, and so I didn't get to the second quarter, but I was watching some of it I was on and off on my phone watching it and
Mhm.
text and whatever. And I was shocked when I actually got to the party. I was like, oh, they're getting blown out. I did not expect that because they were really hyping up Kansas City. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
they did.
so,
They did.
this would have been a three-peat in a row. First one to do that.
Mhm.
Brittany, did you watch? What were your thoughts?
I watched the beginning of it because I was trying to get to the halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't have a thought. I'm not a football girl, or I'm not a sports girl really. Like, I'm glad they won.
Yeah, I'm
Congratulations.
glad they won too.
I did see this story about the guy number 54 on the Eagles who's dead 20 years later. He got the same number as his daddy. And I thought that was cute. And then I
Yeah.
do like Jalen Hurts has an all-female management
All
team.
female management. Yeah.
And there's a lot of Black excellence on there.
Yes.
Other than that, I can't tell you a play. I don't know. So, yeah, there we go.
Well, let's talk about something you probably can tell us about. Were you about to say something?
Oh yeah, I was about to say about something about the pregame,
Oh
but
yeah. Good.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Did y'all catch that?
I did see it today,
I'm
actually.
so proud of Southern University. That
Yeah.
was so
Good.
I
good.
thought that
I
was
like that.
good. I thought the pregame was probably like one of the best pregame shows that I
Mhm.
possibly would have seen.
Yeah.
Just musically, just kind of like celebrating the culture.
Right.
Was really well, and I think that was, that was before the Super Bowl. There was a big conversation about that,
Hmm.
regardless of Kendrick, Kendrick Lamar. But I thought they did a really good job of kind of highlighting some key figures from New Orleans
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah. And people were kind of nervous, was the Super Bowl gonna, kind of whitewash everything because they had taken off that sign at the touchdown mark. Was it end racism? But they did not. They did the complete opposite. This is the most black Super Bowl in a long time. Um,
Yeah, it was good.
but yeah, John Batiste, he did a great job with the national anthem. He made it his own. And most people don't like when you change the national anthem. What do you think, Shaq?
Like,
You like it?
you took the words out of my mouth when you do the national anthem. I felt like it's iffy if you're trying to do your own
Right, it is.
rendition of it, but I felt like he was good until the end. I didn't like the end
Mm.
though.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
I was wondering when they announced him singing because of his style of singing, I was wondering
Hmm.
how he was going to do it. So when
And he came in good.
yeah, no, and not that he can't sing, but just the way he sings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
he's from New Orleans, and so I was wondering how he was going to do it. And it did match what I expected of him.
It
But
did. It did.
yeah. All right, let's talk about the halftime show. So, as we all know, Kendrick Lamar shut down the halftime performance. Though he had just won multiple Grammys for his diss track "Not Like Us," it's still part of a lawsuit involving Drake. Now, Drake is suing Universal Music Group, his own record label, for releasing and promoting the diss track. Lamar seemingly referenced this suit during the Sunday's Super Bowl halftime show, rapping, "I want to perform your favorite song, but they love to sue." The rapper did perform the song, though, and also wore a lowercase a on the necklace, seemingly references the lyric, "Trying to strike a chord is probably a minor." Another exciting special guest during the Super Bowl halftime show was Kendrick Lamar. Had relation to one of Kendrick Lamar's hits tracks. Lamar, of course, performed his Grammy-winning Drake diss track "Not Like Us" during the halftime show, and while he was rapping, he seemingly anticipated the song Drake's ex, tennis icon Serena Williams, joined him on the field for a dance feature. During the video of herself in a blue jacket and skirt from the performance on social media, she admitted, "I died a little." Now, SZA, highly anticipated halftime show appearance included a rendition of her collaboration with the headliner Kendrick Lamar's "All the Stars." Wearing all white, SZA sang the very recognizable 2018 track chorus. Ahead of the halftime show, SZA told reporters in the press room at the Grammy Awards that Lamar worked really hard on it and she was honored to be part of it. Now, Samuel L. Jackson, he kicked off the performance. He made a surprise appearance, introduced the halftime show, popping on stage in a full Americano ensemble. "Salutations, it's your Uncle Sam, and this is your great American game," introduced Jackson. After a few songs, Jackson appeared again, telling Lamar he's too loud, too reckless, and too ghetto. The actor appeared several more times throughout the show. So, what did you think? There was a lot of symbolism we're going to talk about later on in the show, but what did you think about the performance as a whole? Because MAGA is saying it's the worst performance ever. What were your thoughts, Shaq?
Um, so I can. Do you want me to break this down?
Please do.
Okay. So, as a person who that's really big on performances, um, my initial thought was I had my own expectations, and I felt like um it was good. It really was. It was good. However, my notes include, like, if you're gonna do a Super Bowl halftime show, there's one element of a show, and a lot of people do a lot of different things, but there's one element of a show a Super Bowl show that I feel like you should maintain, and that is to perform your hits. And so for me, I was looking forward to hearing some of like Kendrick's, because I would say I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan.
Yeah.
And so I was looking forward to hearing some of the older tracks that he had. And I didn't hear that. Now, as far as the general public, I understand how some people was like, this might not be it, because you really have to have elements of, which he did, some of them. You have to have elements of like dancing. You want to have people get up and want to move. You want to have sing-alongs. You want to have those moments where you tone things down. You want to have those moments where you focus in on the, whatever artist. You want to have those pyro moments. You want to have the fireworks. Like, so some of those elements were missing. And to me, when you're doing a Super Bowl, you have to have some elements of that. I think Kendrick Lamar did a phenomenal job as far as like his artistic, because he's a very artistic person.
Yeah.
And I remember that, he did an interview saying that this Super Bowl performance will be a lot of storytelling, right? And he does that a lot. I seen him at One Music Fest. When he came here, he was phenomenal. The whole messaging of what he was doing was, to me, it was amazing. Having Samuel L. Jackson play Uncle Sam, having everyone dressed in the red, white, and blue representing the American flag. How they, at one point of his Humble, when he did Humble, they kind of separated. So there was a lot of different hidden things in his performance that were very intentional. My only thing for Kendrick was that, and I do have highlights of it too, like that were really, really good. And I think him performing this, I honestly don't think of a rapper that could have executed it better. When I say that, I mean rapping, moving, utilizing the space that was provided for him. I thought it was very unique how he turned that space into a street. As symbolic, so it was a lot of symbolisms, it was a lot of things. But my only thing for note was that, getting into your storytelling, you can do that, but you also still have to remember that there are people who may not listen to your music. But there are some also people, when you perform hits, people want to have that notion like, oh, I remember this song, or I've heard this song, or that's where I know him from, even if they don't listen to the music. So I think he did I deduct points away from not performing some of those some of those hits with that. But overall, I thought it was a very solid performance. It's just that he missed the mark on a few things.
Brittany, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so I had a lot going on today. I had a sorority meeting and everything, but I tuned in specifically to give my opinion on this subject right here. So I am so glad we have gotten to this point. I think that the symbolism of Kendrick Lamar's performance was amazing. I do. I will be the first one to say, I told y'all so. Didn't I say Cash Money Records in the 99s and 2000s would be a better Super Bowl than this? However, I think that everything don't have to be like ass shaking and twerking to be good. You know what I'm saying? And it's very disheartening to hear him getting mixed reviews saying it was too boring when it was a good performance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, like what Shaq said, you do need to know your audience and who you performing for and stuff like that. But the symbolism, the music, he performed a diss record on the largest stage and then just specifically called Drake out and looked in the camera. He had President Trump watching all of this blackity blackness. And like, it was very symbolic, very prideful moment. And I think that means a lot. I do think he did a good job. I think SZA looked great. I think Syleena looked great. And I don't always like Sylena's looks, but she looked real good that night. Like, baby, sometimes she be concerning me a little bit. However, she looked good that night. So I feel like everything was on point. Even with Samuel L. Jackson, like narrating it, I feel like I thought that Drake had dropped the lawsuit. I thought he had the lawsuit, and then they came out and said he dropped the
He did
lawsuit.
drop it, but then he did another one.
Got you. He said, okay. And so I think that everybody that purchased this Super Bowl ticket will get a lawsuit from Drake for saying A minor because y'all are y'all are now a part of why he will never be able to come back. Like, I've never seen a diss record perform at this large of a mass. So that's something to be noted for with Kendrick. So I think it wasn't. I think it was very historical. And to say it was boring, because if you think back, right, on the DNC when we had that podcast, that everybody had mixed reviews about Megan Thee Stallion coming out and all these other. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, either it's too ratchet or it's not ratchet enough, and y'all don't get to have all these dancing moments. So it's like you can't win for losing with people.
That's true.
That's true. And you know, in his Super Bowls past, there have been artists that performed that I didn't know not one of their songs. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about when you select certain artists, everyone may not know. Sometimes you're being introduced to these artists. But the controversy was going to perform not like us because, you know, it is part of the lawsuit. And, you know, at one point he kind of teased like he's about to go into it. Then he went to another song.
Did it.
And so the fact that he did, people were thinking because his lawyers were saying he shouldn't do it, or warriors were saying he shouldn't do it. But I'm glad he did do it. It just won best song of the year, you know, song of the year. So
I feel like he had to do it. Like how he just like that is why you got the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, and that is why. That's the only reason why you got that over Lil Wayne in New Orleans. Like, so you had to do, and he even said it's bigger than you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's for the culture at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be nitpicky because, like I said before, I think it was a solid. I agree with everything what y'all saying too. Like it was a historic moment, and I feel like if you've ever tapped into Kendrick Lamar is to me one of a great prolific lyrical.
Yeah.
Very it's like some of his songs are just like poetry in so many cases. So I didn't like everything his performance, it didn't shock me. It was just, to me, it's a part of his consistency, and this will be part of his legacy as well with the performance. But if I have to nitpick,
you're right.
I don't know if I would have, me personally, I wouldn't have gave Drake all of that. And I know the messaging, of course, he trolled Drake, which was, I give him 10s out of 10 for that. Because like Brittany said, you know, this was a bigger, like everybody know this song. It would be stupid not to perform this song. But I don't know if I would have given Drake all of my moment. Now, you know what I'm saying? He ain't saying he giving some, he's still trolling, but I would have like, this is my moment for the Super Bowl. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And, you know, we can't dictate how people want to use that moment. And clearly he used that moment to tell a message, to tell a story.
Yeah.
And he, like you said, it's bigger. But part of me was just like,
Well, some people think that by him having the game over afterwards means that the feud is over. Between, he was saying it was over. But I don't know if that's the case.
I mean, when you turn your TV off, I mean, it was like he was trolling with that song. It was so hype. Like that part of the performance was very, very hype. I like that part.
Yeah.
But my thing is, where was the fireworks? Where was the pyro? Like I needed a little bit more to entertainment, and that's just me being critical of like just performance as part of the Super Bowl.
But it's like, it's Kendrick Lamar. What did you expect? Like when I'm going to the club, I don't be like, "Hey, put that Kendrick Lamar on." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
but
it's
he
like
still have songs. Like my thing is, he still had song, because my thing is, again, you want to have that element of, not saying that nobody knew that song, everybody knew Not Like Us, but there was other songs he performed that people were like, I may have heard this, but I don't know it word for word. You want to have those sing-alongs. Like I want to hear I'm geeked and I'm fired up. You know, I want to hear the loyalty. I want to hear, you know, if I got a slapper, I'm gonna make it look sick. Like I want to hear some of this. Where's swimming pools? Where's Don't Kill My Vibe? Like those are iconic moments and songs that made you, that catapult your career. And if you not a Kendrick Lamar fan, you at least gonna know them songs and be like, okay, I'm gonna vibe with them. So that's the only element that I felt like that was missing. And quiet as it's kept, he could have kept his whole performance and the artistic value and import did some of those songs, and it wouldn't have took away from his performance. It honestly would probably have elevated a little more. So
yeah. But what do y'all think about this? Stephen A. Smith, of course, he's opinionated. He said that he wouldn't want his wife so invested in a diss track, pretty much calling out Serena Williams for performing, you know, doing the Crip Walk on for Not Like Us. This woman is married and she's from Compton, where he's from. So I think people are looking more into it being about Drake for her than it is her celebrating an artist from Compton performing on the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on that, though, Brittany?
I think that's true. Like, I think that Drake is one aspect of it, but like you said, she's from Compton, supporting
Right.
another Compton artist.
Right.
Didn't she get fined at the Wimbledon for doing that dance?
And that's what you're right. That's why, and
Like,
she said, I did not do it like that in Wimbledon because I would have really got fined.
yeah, like it's so many different layers to that. And
Right.
Drake started with her and her husband. I'm sorry, but I do have my level of pettiness. Like, and clearly I'm not the only one in America. Like, so yes,
Exactly.
if you come for me and my family, I'm gonna meet you in hell too. And I think Kendrick and them, they just set a whole new bar. Like, some people go Michelle Obama route, and the rest of America go Kendrick Lamar route.
Michelle didn't go her route this last campaign.
Everybody does not go high, so y'all figure it out.
Right. And shout out to Kendrick. He is the first solo rapper to perform at Super Bowl. And so, it's not an easy thing, obviously, but yeah. But
And
no,
Somebody said Rihanna's performance was better than Kendrick Lamar. I was disappointed in Rihanna's performance.
some people thought hers was boring too.
I was disappointed.
Because she was pregnant.
She was pregnant, yeah.
I love me some Riri, but I was disappointed in her Super Bowl performance.
But she's never been a great performer to me. Like, stage wise, I mean, she makes great music, but I'm saying, like, I don't know what y'all expecting, anyway.
So did you know that the creative director for his performance also worked with Beyonce's 2013 and Gaga's Super Bowl halftime show?
Okay.
So a lot of the I looked at some of the behind the scenes of like how, of course, because we all know it, you got minutes to get this stuff out. So I thought that he did really well, like you said, for a rapper.
Yeah.
I honestly could not name a rapper right now that would be able to take stage directions well. Yeah. And let's not get into, like I said, I'm hypercritical of like certain things, and I pay attention to everything. Like even the camera movements, like he was so on point with like coming in, because at one point he came in the camera and turned around and it was just a moment. So I think he did a fun, like performing wise, he did an amazing job. Yeah. I'm just being hypercritical on certain things, but it was definitely not boring. I just think that for the general public, it's some things that you just have to like pay attention to.
And you gotta let Michael Jackson's performance go. We know Michael Jackson has the best performance. He stood there for 5 minutes while everybody
he was falling out.
Like,
and they were stressing out behind stage behind that too. Like, we need to hurry up. We got minutes.
We know we got time.
Nobody can live up to that. Like, but I need them to give go ahead and give Chris Brown a Super Bowl performance. So
people are saying that they're calling for that now.
I need Chris Breezy to have one so he could perform with me on stage. I just want to be sitting up there.
Well, listen, so Taylor Swift was at the game, of course, supporting her man, and she got booed. They put her on the Jumbotron during the first quarter. And masses start booing her. Now, she looked like she didn't know what was going on. But some people were saying that she got booed because she has been a diehard Eagles fan up until she started dating Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
But of course, your boy Trump, he said he left the game after the halftime show, and he went on his social media platform and said that the Chiefs were the only one to have a bad night. Taylor did. I'm paraphrasing. Taylor did as well. MAGA's not that forgiving. He made it seem like MAGA was booing her because remember she had come out in support for Kamala Harris during the election. But I don't think it had anything to do with MAGA. I really don't. No. I really don't. But he always makes it about him anyway. Makes it about him. What were your thoughts when you saw her getting booed? I'll start with you, Brittany.
I think she got booed because her man plays for the Chiefs, and it was a lot of Philly fans there. And it was the Philadelphia fans really showed up for their team. Like, from the celebrities, Gilly, Kevin Hart, like they go hard.
Yeah.
I saw them in their city. They tear their own city up.
Right.
They was taking light poles down.
Yeah.
Like, they come in and fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Like they was out there on Good Morning America. Michael Strahan was like, spell Eagles. They was EAGELS, and they don't even know how to spell. Like the Philly fans was going hard. Like I have never seen such diehard fans like that. Like, so I really think that's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a Phil. We think Shaq.
Yeah, I didn't really think. I mean, let's be real. Who's thinking about MAGA at a sports event? Number one, that's our
Coming
one
to see
time
Kendrick
to be
Lamar.
political. Yeah, right. Like, and that's our time to really kind of just take our minds off all that.
With politics.
Yeah, and just kind of like just have fun, let your hair down and stuff. So I really think it has something to do with like sports and the fact that she's dating Travis, in support of the Chiefs. So I didn't think. I mean, I felt bad, kind of, sort of, because I was like,
yeah.
But I didn't really think it had nothing to do with MAGA. This is just Trump wanting all the attention to be on him, and failed to mention that you got booed too. So
he got booed too. He got booed too, and I saw this one man flicking him off right in front of the but one thing about Trump, real quick, no president has ever gone to the Super Bowl because they won't want it to be a political thing. They know that there's something to go from someone who didn't, and so they usually stay home and then they invite the winning team, back to the White House afterwards. But of course, he made it about himself, and it cost millions of dollars for him to be there because of all the security and all the the people that came with them. And so it took money out of our taxpayer money because he needs his ego stroked.
But can we say one thing? Can we say how? Can we talk about how resilient Taylor Swift is? I think that girl gets booed. Kanye has snatched the mic out of her hand. Like Taylor Swift be getting the butt of the joke. You hear me? Like they be dogging her, and she still show up and show face. I be feeling bad for that little white girl. Right? Do y'all not see what y'all do to her? Like,
yeah, I did feel a little bad. I
felt bad for her because that had to be crazy.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. We come back. We're going to break down the symbolism that was featured throughout Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance and find out why Kanye, or Ye, was banned from X. Right back after this.